This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let me go and open the class notes. Yesterday's class, we started discussing about how to go and create the automated cloud flows. Let me go and open the class notes. Fine. Go to the cloud flows. Now, here, guys, in yesterday's class, we start discussing about the cloud flows. So, in yesterday's class, we discussed about when an email arrives in the Outlook, how to send a notification in the Teams chat. Also, we discussed about one more scenario when an email arrives. Uh, an email arrives, how to insert that email information in the SharePoint list. These two scenarios we discussed. So in yesterday's class, that is class 2, regarding the automated cloud flows. And today is class 3 regarding the automated cloud flows. Now in today's session, what we'll discuss here is, in today's class, that is class 3, we'll discuss few more scenarios, guys. Few more scenarios related to the automated cloud flows. Now, what the scenarios we'll discuss now in today's session is, let me go here. Go to the automated cloud flows. Now, in today's session, we'll discuss these scenarios, guys. Just to copy it, just to copy them. Today is class 3 regarding the automated cloud flows. And now, in today's session, what we'll discuss here is, the first scenario we are going to discuss here is, when an item is created. When an item is created in the SharePoint list, then I want to send one email regarding the course details. That means, let's say, whenever a new record or an item is created in the SharePoint list, I want to send one automated email. So I want to go and create one form in the Power Apps. With the help of that form, I want to submit some data to the SharePoint. Whenever the data is submitted to that SharePoint list regarding which record I inserted to that student, I want to send one email. What is that email? Is course details. Let's say I want to create an app for AB trainings. Whenever the student is inquired, once the student is inquired, I want to send one email to that student regarding which students the student is inquired, what's the course he is inquired, what's the duration of that course, who is the trainer. Like this, I want to go and send one automated email. So we'll discuss this scenario first, and next we'll discuss about when an item is deleted in the SharePoint list. Let's say in the SharePoint list, whenever the item is deleted, that means whenever the data is deleted, I want to send one email to the user that an item is deleted in the SharePoint list. And next, when an item is modified or created, when an item is created or modified means updated. Whenever the record is updated in the SharePoint list, then also I want to go and send one notification to the site owner, who is the owner for the site or a list. For them, I want to go and send one email. So these things we'll discuss now in today's session, guys. In the yesterday's class, we discussed about by taking that data source as an Outlook. Now in today's session, we'll discuss about how by taking that data source as what? SharePoint. Let me go and open the Power Automate now, and let me go and discuss these scenarios now in today's session, guys. So first, let me go and open the Power Automate. Go to any one of the web browser. Go to any one web browser and type here make dot powerautomate.com. Make dot powerautomate.com. Just go and click on enter. Now it is going to open the Power Automate software, guys. It's going to open what now? Power Automate application. Now in the Power Automate, I need to go and create a flow. When I want to run the flow, when I want to run the flow, when an item is created in the SharePoint, then I want to go and run the flow. What is my flow? I want to send one email notification to the student regarding the course details. So first of all, before, if you want to create a flow in the Power Automate, first of all, I need to go and enter some data into the SharePoint list. Through what I want to enter the data into the SharePoint list is through Power Apps. In the Power Apps, I want to go and create one form. When I enter the data in that form, I want to go and submit that data to the SharePoint list. Whenever the data comes into the SharePoint list, then I need to go and use the Power Automate to automate the flows. So let me go to the SharePoint first. Let me go to the SharePoint. In the SharePoint, we created a site for this Power Automate. What's the site we created in yesterday's class? Site name is Power Automate. Just go and click on it. Now I want to create one list here, guys. In yesterday's class, we created a list for email information. Now I want to create another list. So how to go and create the list? First connect to the site. In which site you want to create the list. Once after connecting to the site, go to this new tab. And I click on this. Here you are able to see something called list. Go and click on list. Now I want to create a list from the blank. From the blank, I want to go and create the list. Click on this blank list. Now what's the list name I want to keep for students? What is the list name? Students is the list name. Once after passing the list name, just go and click on create. When I click on create, now it is going to create one list. What's the list name is? Students is the list name. Now see, automatically the list is created. Students is the list. Now whenever if you create a list, as we know that in the SharePoint is going to create one default column. What's that column? Student, title column, guys. Now I want to add few columns into this list. What columns I want to add it here is, let's say student number. What's the student name? And let me keep here student mobile, and I want to collect the student email ID and for which course the student is inquired, and let us say what's the status of that course. Like this, I want to go and create some fields are called as columns. Now how to go and create the columns is, one way you can go and click on this add columns, or go to the list settings, go to the settings gear icon and go to the list settings here. Go to the list settings. In the list settings, you are able to create the columns. Now scroll down. So by default there is one column, that is title column. Let me rename this column from title to student number. Yes, number, student number or serial number, whatever it is. Now scroll down and click on OK. I'm changing that default column name from title to student number. Next I want to go and add a few more columns. If you want to add the columns, go and click on what? Create columns. Now go and click on the create column. It's going to create one, allows us to create one column. Let me pass the column name here. What's that column name I want to pass it here is student name. That data type is single line of text. Now scroll down, click on the OK button. Click on the OK button. I'm going to create another column. That column is student name column. Now see, the student name column is added. Two columns is there. Like this, I want to add few more columns. Go and click on again create column. The next column, the third column I want to create here is mobile. What's the student mobile number? The single data type is single line of text. Now scroll down, click on OK button. Next, I want to go and create another column. Again, go and click on what? Create column. Next, what's the column name I want to keep here is email. Now scroll, data type is single line of text. Scroll down, click on OK button. Next, another one more column, guys. The next column I want to create here is which course the student is inquired. Course, column name is course. Data type is single line of text. Now scroll down, click on OK button. Now I'm creating some columns. Let me add one more column, that is status column. Go to the create column. What is the status of that course? Student course. Status, single line of text is the data type. Now scroll down and click on OK button. Now I'm creating some columns in this list, guys. The list name is what? Students is the list. If you scroll down, these are the columns I'm having in this list, and this is the data type of those columns. Now once after creating the columns, now go to the list. Go and click on the students list. Go to the list now. Now you can see here, these are the columns I'm having in this list: student number, student name, mobile number, email ID, for which course the student is inquired, and what is the status of that course. These are the columns I'm having in this list. Now I want to enter the data into the list through Power Apps, guys. In the Power Apps, I want to go and create one form. Now, whenever the student is inquired, I want to enter the student details in the form in Power Apps. From Power Apps, I want to go and submit the data to these data sources. Whenever the data comes into the SharePoint list, by taking the student ID, student email as a reference, I want to go and send one automated email to that student. So regarding thanks for inquiring AB trainings, uh, for which course the student is inquired, I want to mention the course name and I want to mention some details of that course. So how to go and do it? So once after creating the SharePoint list, let me go and open the Power Apps now. In the Power Apps, I want to go and create one simple form, guys. Let me go and open the Power Apps, go to this three ellipses, and then go and click on what? Power Apps. Here it is not there. Let me do one thing. Go to the new tab and make here make.powerapps.com. Let me go and open the Power Apps, guys. To open the Power Apps, as we know that what's the web URL? Make.powerapps.com. Now once after going to the Power Apps, now go to the create tab. Go to the create tab. Let me go and click on the blank. So I want to go and create one new app here, guys. Just go and click on the create tab now. When I go and click on the create tab, now it is asking us to pass the app name. So what is the app name? Let me keep here AB trainings, AB trainings inquiry app, AB trainings inquiry app. Now once after entering the name, I want to go and select the format. I want to create the app for phone layout, and then go and click on what? Create tab. Just go and click on the create tab. When I click on this create, now it will allow us to create one form now. So in this app I want to create one form. So what's the app name I'm keeping here? AB trainings inquiry. Now here, this is the place, already you know that this is the place where we can go and create the app sketch. Now what's my requirement here is, first I want to create some header here. So what's that header? I want to keep some header. To keep the headers, add one control. Go to the insert tab, click on this insert tab. Let me add this control text label. Let me add the text label, keep it here. Now let me change the text to what? Let me change the text to new student, or let me keep it as new student inquiry. New student inquiry. Let me keep the, let me change the size to 24. Let me change the font size to 24 and keep it in the semi bold, and also align it to center. Let me change the font color to white, and let me change the background color to orange. Let me increase the font bit. Let me keep it as 30. Fine. Now see, I'm keeping some header here, guys. New student inquiry form. So I want to create one form now here. Already we know that how to go and create the forms. Already discussed it. Go to the insert tab and go and click, select the one control. What's that control? Edit form. Add the control called edit form and keep the form here. Keep the form here. Keep it here. Next, I want to connect to the data. What is the data source I want to connect to this form? So if I want to connect to the data, now see by default it is telling that what? This form is not connected to any data yet. Please connect to the data. So by default the form is not connected to any data. I want to connect to the data source. What's my data source? I want to connect to the SharePoint list. What's the site? First of all, Power Automate. What's the list name? Students. I want to connect to this list. So go to the Power Apps. Now how to connect to the data? Go to the data. Here there is something called data. Go to the data. Now go and click on add data. Now search here for data source as what? SharePoint. When I search for the SharePoint, you are able to see the data source as what? SharePoint. Just select this. And I select this. Now see, it is telling us to select the SharePoint. Let me select this one. Now it will displace all the sites that are available. Now see, already I'm having one site here. What's that site? It is displaying the site as Power Automate. Power Automate is my site. Connect to select the site name. Once after selecting the site, go and select the list. I'm having the two list in this site. What are the two list? One is email information. Second is what? Students. I want to connect to which list now? Students. select the list called students, and then click on what? Connect. Let me click on connect. When I click on connect, now see, it is connecting to the SharePoint list. What's the list name? Students is the list. Now whatever the list, whatever the data I'm connecting here, I want to connect that data to this form. This form I want to connect to which data source? Students list. Select the form, and then there is one property here called data source. Go to this property. By default is not connected to any data source. Click on this drop down. Now select the data source as what? Students. When I click on the students, now see, automatically based on the columns I'm having in this list, my Power Apps is going to create one form like structure. Power Apps is going to create one form like structure. And if you observe, these are the fields I'm having, and there is one more field called attachments. This is the default field. I want to remove this field. Now how to remove it? Select the form. Form has one property called what? Fields. Go to the fields, and then you can see the whatever the fields is there in the form. So I'm having one field called what? Attachments. Go and remove this. Go and click on this more actions. Go and click on what? Remove. When I click on remove, now see, I'm not able to see this attachments data card now, or a field. Fine. Now this is the form I am creating is. And also, if you see, there is one column here called status column. Now see, by default, what is the status of the student? If the student is inquiring, means the status is nothing. Just I want to enter here what? Student let's say serial number, student name, mobile number, email, course. By default, the status is, it is not nothing. Whenever the student is inquired, the status is must and should be blank. So I don't want to show the status here. So what I will do here is, again select the form, go to the fields. Let me go and remove the status column here. By default, the status is, I don't want to display the status column in the form. Why? Because whenever the student is inquired, he is just inquiring, he is not registered with us. If the student is registered, then we can see the status. The status is in progress, stopped, completed, not started. Like this, we can keep some status. So let me remove the status field now. Just go and click on remove. Now see, these are the fields I'm having here, guys. These are the fields I'm having in this form. Now I'm creating one form here. I'm ready with the form. Now let me do some changes. Let me change the font size of this. It is 21. I think it is looks good. Let me do one thing. Select the form. This form has one property called default property. So by default, the form is in which mode? Means edit mode. Let me change the form mode to new. Let me change the form mode to new. Now just save it and play. Now see, this is the form I'm having, guys. So just let me do some formattings here. I want to increase the font weight here. So let me do one thing. Select this student number column. Let me increase the font weight to semi bold. Select the student name column. Change the font weight to the student mobile font weight, and also let me increase to 24. Fine, it looks good. Select this. Increase the font size to 24. Select this one also. Increase the font size to 24. Email 24. Semi bold. Course font size to 24, and font weight to semi bold. Now I'm creating one form here, guys. This is the form. Now once after entering the data, if I enter the student number, name, mobile number, email ID, course, next I need to go and whatever the data I'm entering here, I want to submit this data to where? Data source. What's my data source? SharePoint is my data source. Now in order to go and submit the data, let me go and add one button here called submit button, guys. Let me go and add one button here called submit button. So go to the insert tab. Let me go to the insert tab. Select the control called button control. Add one button. Keep the button control here. Now by default, the text of this button is it is a button. Let me change the text to submit. So go this, select the button. Have one property called text property. Select the text property, and then change the text to what? Submit. Now once after this, now whatever the data I'm entering here, on select of this button, this data need to go and submit to the data source. In order to go and submit the data to the data sources, select the button. Button will have one property called on select property, guys. Button will have one property called on select property. Go to the on select property. Go to the on select property. By default is false. Let me remove it. I want to submit the form. Let me go and use one function called submit form. Which form I want to submit? Form 1. What's the form name? This is the name of that form. This is the form I added. What's the form name? Form 1. So on select of this button, submit button, what I want to here is I want to go and submit this form to the data sources. Now see, once after submitting the data, that data will comes into where? Data sources. What's my data source? SharePoint. Now along with this, once after submitting the data, I want to go and send one email to that student through Power Apps itself. From Power Apps itself, I want to send the email. So I will show you how to go and perform the send the email by using the automate also. In the Power Apps also you'll send the email. How to send the email in the Power Apps itself? Once the form is submitted, I want to send one email to that student. Let's say I'm entering some student details here. Student number 101, student name, let's say I'm keeping here myself Pinky. Student mobile number, let me enter some random mobile number. And next, what is the email? Let's say I'm entering the email here, guys. Now, whatever the email I'm entering here, to this email, I want to go and send one email notification. To this email, I want to send the email notification. Once and one message. Now, how to go and send it? Now, whatever the email I'm entering here, by taking this email as a reference, I need to go and send one email to that student guest. Now, I want to go and perform this. Go to the submit button. Now, to send the emails to the students from the Power Apps itself, I need to go and add one more connector. Go to the connectors. Go to the data. Now, click on add data. I want to go and select the data source as an Outlook guest. I want to select the data source as what? Outlook. Now, when I search here for Outlook, there is something called Office 365 Outlook. This is also one connector. Outlook is also one connector, one data source. Select the Office 365 Outlook. Now, select this anyone. Now, see, I'm going to connect to the Office 365 Outlook. This is one data source I'm connecting. Now, once after adding the Office 365 Outlook, now go to the button. Now, here I'm going to select, I'm going to use one function here, guys. Office 365 Outlook send email. So there is one function here called what? Office 365 Outlook. No, it is forward, right? There is one something called send email. Now see, here it is. Send email version 2 V2. Select this one. Office 365 Outlook send email. Select this one. Once after selecting this, send email version 2. Now open brackets. Now within the open brackets, now first it is asking us to pass what? To address. To whom you want to send the email. Which student email ID I'm entering here. To this email, I want to send the message. To address. To whom you want to send. So which student email ID I'm entering here. To that student I want to send. So what I can do here is select the control and select this one. Select this one and copy the name of this control. Copy the name and go to the submit button. Now copy and paste it here, guys. To address, to whom you want to send. I want to send to the email to the student. Which student email I'm entering here, that student I want to send. Now see, whenever I keep here, automatically it is highlighting this green marker. Next, keep comma. Next is asking us to pass what? Subject. What is the subject you want to keep in that email? Thanks for inquiring. Thanks for inquiring AB trainings. Thanks for inquiring AB trainings. This is the subject I want to keep. Next, keep comma. Next is asking us to pass what? Body. Now, what's the body I want to keep? Let's say, hi. The body I'm keeping here is within the double quotes, hi. Now, use the concatenate operator, guys. Use the concatenate operator. Hi. Here, I want to mention the student name. Which student name I'm entering here? Which student name I'm entering here? This student name I want to go and display it here. Hi, let me go and enter the student name. How to enter the student name here? Select this field, copy the name of this field, guys. Select the name, copy the name of this control, and then go to the submit button. Go to the submit button. Here, enter that value dot txt. and then use the concatenate operator again. Hi, whatever the name it is, hi Venki. Next, I want to keep some other text, guys. Uh, we are from Analytics Benchmark. We are from Analytics Benchmark. Let me keep here. Thanks for inquiring. Let me use the concatenate operator. Let me skip it like this. Let me go and use the concatenate operator again, or let me keep it here itself. We are from Analytics Benchmark. Thanks for inquiring. Thanks for inquiring. For which course the student is inquired, that course I want to go and display here. Again, go and use the concatenate operator. Now, which course the student is inquiring, that course I want to go and display it here, guys. Now, whatever the course I will enter here, that course name I want to go and display it here. I want to make it as automated. So select the course data card, copy the name of this, copy the name of it. Now go to the submit button and then keep here that name .txt. It is a text control, right? So we are from Analytics Benchmark. Thanks for inquiring which course the student is inquired, and then use the concatenate operator again. Concatenate within the double quotes for which course the student is inquired. Thanks for inquiring. Let's say Power Apps. Thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. And also again, I want to keep some other text, guys. Again, I want to go and use the concatenate operator. Thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. Next, I want to keep here something called we will update you. We will update you when the new batch will start. When the new batch will start, we'll update you when the new batch will starts. And then keep some space. Again, I'm keeping some spaces here. Next, go and use the concatenate operator. Next, I want to mention here. Thanks for inquiring. Thanks. And then A/B trainings. Use the concatenate operator here also. Thanks. I want to mention here what? A/B trainings. This is the message I want to send. Try to understand again. So whenever I go and click on this submit button, first submit the data to the data source. Once after submitting the data, with the help of Outlook, go and send one email for whom, which student name or which student email ID you are entering here. That student email ID I want to go and keep it here. To the student I want to send. What's the subject? Thanks for inquiring A/B trainings. And what's the body? Hi, whatever the name. Let's say hi Venki. We are from Analytics Benchmark. Thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. We will update you when the new batch will start. Thanks A/B trainings. This is the message I want to keep. Now just close it. Just close it. Once after sending the email, next I want to make this form as a new form, guys. Next, what I want to do, I want to make the form as a new form. Let me keep here some colon. Next, new form. I want to make the form as what? New form. Which form I want to make it as new form? Form 1. So this is what my requirement. Now see, just to save it, go and click on play. Now try to understand. I'm going to enter the student ID as 101, student name as Venki, mobile number, some random mobile number, and this is the email. Whatever the email I'm entering here, to this email I want to go and send one email, guess. I want to send one message. What's the course? Let's say the course I'm entering here is Power Apps is the course. Now try to understand. When I go and click on the submit button, now see, it is throwing some error. Office 365 Outlook email version 2. The function send email version 2 has invalid parameter. What's the parameter? To address. It is telling that to address is not entered. I'm entering the to address, but it's telling that it is not entered. So if you go to the data source, the record is inserted. The record is inserted, but the email is not sent. If I go and check my email, if you see, I'm logging with Vinky Challa 1995. This is the email I'm logging here. If you see, this is the email I'm logging. Now I received the email here is no, there is no email. So why it is not receiving the email means, if you observe what I'm doing here is, on select of this button, first what I'm doing is, First I'm submitting the form. First, if you submit the form, then what it will be there? So the action, the sequence is important. First I'm submitting the form. Once the form is submitted, then there is no data in the form. Once the form is submitted, then I'm telling that go and send the email. So if the form is submitted, we don't have any data there. So first what I want to do here is, first I don't want to submit the form. First what I want to do, send the email. Once after sending the email, next go and submit the form. The order is important, in which order you are going to execute. On select of this button, first submit, first go and send the email, next submit the data to the data sources, and next make that form as a new form. The sequence is important. Now save it. Now go and click on play. Now try to understand. Let me remove the student details now. Select this, go to these three ellipses, click on delete. Let me delete this student details now. Let me go and enter the same data again. 101, name is Venki, mobile number, let me enter some random mobile number. Next, let me enter the email ID. Next, what is the course? Let me keep the course as what? Power Apps. So the course name is Power Apps. Now click on the submit. Now it will execute. Now just go and click on the submit button. Now the form is submitted, the email sent. Now if you go to the data source, if you see, when I click on refresh, the data is submitted. And also if I go to my email, now see, just now I received the email, user 36. So what is the subject? I said, what is the subject I kept there? Thanks for inquiring AB trainings. Now what is the body I kept there? So hi Venki, we are from Analytics Benchmark. Thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. We'll update you when the new batch will start. It is in one single line. Even we are not able to keep it in one line after the another. So from Power Apps itself, we are able to send the emails to the users. On select of the button, first send the email to the student and then go and submit the data to the data sources. But it is not recommended. It is not recommended to go and send the emails through Power Apps, guys. If you use the Power Apps itself to go and send the emails, it will be somewhat burden to Power Apps. So I want to reduce the burden to Power Apps. So first, I don't want to send the email by using the Power Apps. I don't want to send the email to the student by using the Power Apps. Let me keep it in the comment, guys. Let me keep it in the comment. Everything I want to keep it in the comment. So what I want to do here is, instead of going and using the Power Apps in order to go and send the email, just copy, just remove it, keep it here. First submit the form, make the form as new form, and then let me keep that here. I'm keeping in the comment. It doesn't work now. Now instead of going and sending the email to the student with the help of Power Apps, what I will do here is, first on select of this form, submit the data to the data sources and make the form as what? A new form. Now once the data comes into the data sources, whenever the data is inserted means created. Whenever the data is, one item is created in the SharePoint list, I want to correct that student email ID. I want to correct that student email ID, and I want to send one automated email by using the Power Automate. With the help of Power Automate, I want to send the email now. When I want to send the email, whenever the record is inserted into the SharePoint list. So how to go and do it? So already I'm having one list here. Let me remove this data. Already I'm having one list here, and I'm having the form here. I'm ready with the form. Once if I enter the data, when I go and click on the submit button, the data will comes into the data sources. Once the data comes into the data sources, I need to go and perform what? Automation. Now go to the Power Automate. In the Power Automate, I want to go and create one flow now. So let me go to the create tab. Go to the create tab. In the create tab, now tell me what type of flow I want to select. I want to select the automated cloud flow, instant cloud flow, or scheduled cloud flow. I want to go and select what type of flow here now. Automated cloud flow. Why? Correct. Automated cloud flow. Why? Because whenever the record is inserted, then only I want to go and run the flow. So select the flow type as automated cloud flow. Select the flow type as automated cloud flow. Now let me keep the flow name. What's the flow name I'm keeping here is, in the Power Apps, through Power Apps, from Power Apps, I want to submit the data to where? SharePoint. Once after submitting the data to the SharePoint list, now next what I want to do, I want to use the Power Automate. I want to use the Power Automate to send the email. So just for easy understanding purpose, I'm keeping the flow name like this. Whatever the name you want to keep. So by using the Power Apps, I want to enter some data in the SharePoint list. Whenever the data is inserted, using Power Automate, I want to go and send one email. Now this is the flow name. Next, what is the trigger? When you want to start the flow, I want to start the flow when an item is created in the SharePoint list. So select the trigger type as what? So go and select the trigger type as when an item is created in the SharePoint list. So select the trigger type as when an item is created in the SharePoint list. Select the trigger and click on what? Create. When I go and click on create, now it is going to create one form. Now switch back to the old designer. Stop the new designer. Switch back to the old designer. Now here, what is my flows case? In my flow, what's my first step? The first step is trigger event. What's my event? When an item is created in the where SharePoint. Now here, I want to pass the site address. What's the site I want to connect now? I want to connect to the site called Power Automate. So if you see automatically displaying the site name, what's the site name? Power Automate. Connect to the site called Power Automate. And what's the list name? What's the list I want to connect now? Students is the list. Select the list name. Now once after entering the site address and list name, so whenever the data is created in this list, then what action I want to take? Now what action you want to take? Go and select the new step. And I go and click on the new step. Now it is telling us select the action. So what is the action I want to take here is, let's search for send an email. Go and search here what? Send an email. If you scroll down, there is an option here called send an email version 2 v2. Select this one. So whenever the record is created, whenever an item is created in the SharePoint list, what action I want to take? So I want to take the action as send email. So to whom I want to send? To address. To whom I want to send? Which student details you are entering here? That student email I want to collect. To that email I want to send the message. So go to the Power Automate, select this, go to the to address. I don't want to enter the uh, uh, email ID manually here, guys. I don't want to enter it manually. So instead of going and entering it manually, so let me go and set what? Add dynamic content. Dynamically I want to send. If I go to the dynamic content, here you are able to see the column name. There is one column in the SharePoint list. What's that column? Email column. So select the column name email. What happens here is when I select the email, which student details you are entering, that student email it is going to collect here. To that student it is going to send one email. Next, what is the subject? Thanks for inquiring AB trainings. Let me keep here hi. I want to mention the student name here, guys. Here also I don't want to hard code the student name like Winky or Veeresh like this. So what I want to do, I want to make it as dynamic. So go to the dynamic content. Go to the dynamic content. In the dynamic content, there is one column you are able to see. When an item is created in the list, in the list there is one column. What's that column? Student name. Select the student name. Which student you are entering? That student name I want to select here. Next, keep this in the bold case. Select the student name and click on bold. I want to keep the student name as bold. And then next, let me keep here something called we are from analytics benchmark. We are from analytics benchmark. Thanks for inquiring which course the student is inquired. I want to mention the course name. Thanks for inquiring which course the student is inquired. So whatever the course I'm entering here, I want to take that course name. So go here, go to the dynamic content. There is some one field called what? Course. Select the course. And also I want to mention the course in the bold case. Keep the course in the bold. And then go and pass here course. Let's say if the student is inquired for Power Apps, thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. And then next I want to keep some message as We will update you. We will update you when the new batch will start. We'll update you when the new batch will start. This is the text I want to give. And next, thanks AB training. So thanks AB trainings. I want to keep this AB trainings also in the bold. So select this and keep it in the bold. And also I want to keep this Analytics benchmark also in the bold. Select this Analytics benchmark, keep it in the bold. And also I want to change the color, guys. I want to keep the Analytics color as let me keep it as blue color, and let me change the benchmark color to orange. If you want to do some color formatting also, you can do it here. Let me keep it as orange. Now see, I'm just keeping some color coding here. Now once after this, so what I'm doing here, when an email is when an item is created, where in the SharePoint list, what action I want to take? Send email to whom? Which student details are entering? To that student I want to send the email. Subject is what? Thanks for inquiring AB trainings. Hi, whatever the name, the student name. Hi, Vinky. We are from Analytics Benchmark. Thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. We'll update you when the new batch will start. And thanks AB trainings. Now, once if you are ready with the flow, go and click on save. When I click on save, it will check whether the flow is having any errors or not. Let it check. Now see, the flow doesn't have any errors, guys. If our flow is ready, we will recommend you to test it. It is telling us go and test the flow. So to test the flow, go and click on what? Test. Go and click on the test. Now for the first time, as I said that test the flow manually. So start here. Test the flow manually for the first time. Now go and click on what? Test. Now click on test. When I click on test, now it is telling that to see it is working now, add a new item in the SharePoint folder you selected. Now go to the Power Apps, save it and click on play. Let me enter one of the student details, guys. 101. Let's say name is Venki. Myself, I'm entering. Let me enter some details. Let me enter some details here. And what is the email? And what's the course? Let me select the course as Power Apps. Now I'm entering the student details. Now go and click on what? Submit. When I click on the submit, now the data will be submitted to the data sources. Now whenever the data comes into the data sources, then the Power Automate need to go and run the flow. So let me go to the flow. Now see, it is telling that your flow ran successfully. So if you go to the my email ID, if I go to my email, now see again I received one more mail here, user 36. Now what's that mail now? Thanks for inquiring AB trainings. Hi Venki. Which student is inquired? That student name it can mention here. Hi Venki. We are from Analytics Benchmark. Thanks for inquiring Power Apps course. Which course I inquired? Power Apps. We'll update you when the new batch will start. Thanks AB trainings. And someone, anyone on online people, please mention your email in the chat box. I will send anyone. Anyone, just quick one email. Fine. One received. Venkatesh Alluri. Fine. Okay, no need. I received one email. Now see, let me go and enter the email. Let me enter the name as Venkatesh. Let me keep here the name. Let me enter the ID as 102. Let me enter some random mobile number. Let me keep the course as, let's say, Power BI is the course I'm entering. Now when I go and click on the submit button, now see, when I go to the SQL, that is SharePoint, now that record is inserted. Whenever the record is inserted, now the flow will run. If I go to the flows, my flows, you are able to see the flow name here. What is that flow we created? This is the flow name. Just click on this flow. Now here you are able to see the run history. You are able to see what? Run history. 1 minute back it is run. Venkatesh, please go and check your email. You received the email or not? Just please confirm. Venkatesh Alluri. Please confirm. And now see how many times the flow run now? 2 times. Just 16 minutes back the flow run. So the flow type is succeeded. Now please check Venkatesh Alluri whether you received the email or not.
Yes, I have received.
Yes. So like this, whenever the student uh, is inquiring for any course, if I enter that student details, the data will comes into where? Data sources. By taking this data, by taking the student email ID as reference, I want to go and send one email. That email also automated email gets. So if you go and see here, dynamically I'm entering the course name, which for which course the student is inquired, I'm keeping that course name here. So it is, and also what is the student name I'm entering there, automatically I will go and collect that student name here. So like this, whenever the student is inquired, we're able to send one automated email to that student. So this is what how to go and send an email to the student whenever he is inquiring any course. So here when an item is created in the SharePoint list, then how to send an email. Next one is when an item is deleted in the SharePoint list. Whenever if I delete any item in the SharePoint list, then I want to send one notification to that site owner or list owner. So how to go and do it? So just now we discussed about whenever the item is created, what the flow I want to run. Now whenever the item is deleted, now I want to send one email notification to the site owner or the list owner. So how to go and do it? Now go to the Power Automate, go to the Create tab. Again, now what type of flow I want to select here? Whether I want to select the automated flow, scheduled or instant. Yes, correct. Automated flow I want to select. Why? Because automate, why I select the automated means whenever the record is deleted, whenever the item is deleted, then only I want to go and run the flow. Deleting is what? One event. Event is nothing but what? A trigger. So let me go and select the automated cloud flow. Select the automated cloud flow. Let me pass the flow name as what? SharePoint. An item is deleted. Then what I want to do? I want to send one email by using the Power Automate. Using Power Automate, I want to go and send one email. So whenever the data is deleted in the SharePoint list, send one email using the Power Automate. Just one name I'm keeping is whatever the name you want to keep. You can keep your own names. Now see, when I go and search here for SharePoint, what is the trigger I want to take now? My data source is SharePoint. And I keep here SharePoint. Now it is displaying all the whatever the triggers is there available on the SharePoint. So what is my trigger now? When an item is deleted. Whenever the item is deleted in the SharePoint list, then only I want to run the flow. So select the trigger type as when an item is deleted. Now go and click on what? Create. Select the trigger type. Go and click on the create tab. When I go and click on the create tab, now it allows us to create one flow. Switch to the old designer. Now, when an item is deleted, where? In the SharePoint. In the SharePoint, what's the site and what's the list? What's the site? Power Automate is my site. Let me select the site name as what? Power Automate. And go to the list. Automatically, when I select the site, here it will display the list available in that site. How many lists is there? Two. One is email information, second is what? Students. Select the list name as what? Students. Now, whenever the item is deleted in this SharePoint list, what action I want to take? I want to send one email notification to the user. Who is that means who is the owner for that site or a list. For them, I want to share one, send one email, guys. So go and search here what? Send an email. Search for send an email. Now, if you scroll down here, you can select the action. What action I want to take now? Send an email in the Outlook. So select this, send an email. Now, to whom you want to send, guys? To address. Go to the dynamic content. Now, see here there is something called deleted by. Who deleted it? And a file name with an extension, a name, and a file name with an item. So to whom you want to send the email means which person is deleted, to that person you want to send, whoever it is created. So who is, whoever the owner of that site or a list, for them I want to say it. So I think we don't have the created, or let me search here for, we don't have created. Let me hard code it, guys. Let's say I want to send the email to Venki Challa 1995@gmail.com. To this person I want to send. Along with this person, I want to send the email. It is not taking. Fine. Let me keep here. Along with this, I want to send an email to AB Trainings Hub @gmail.com. To these two persons, I want to send. Next, subject. What is subject? An item. An item is deleted. An item is deleted in SharePoint list. Now you can mention the list name here, guys. Whatever the list name it is there, you can mention the list name. No need to mention the list name here. You can mention it here. Hi. Let me mention the name here, file name, or let me mention the, or no need to mention hi. Let me do one thing. An item is deleted in the SharePoint list. What's that list name? Let me select the list name. Whatever the list it is deleted, let me select the list name. Let me do one thing. This is not the list name. This is the list name. File name with extension. Let me select the list name. And also you can mention here item, which item it is deleted. That item ID we are able to mention. Select this one. Keep it in the bold. And also keep it in the bold. Now this is the email I want to send. Only two steps here also, guys. Whenever the item is deleted, go and send one email to these two persons. To these two persons. Subject is this one and body is this one. Now just save the flow. Let me check the flow is having any errors or not. The flow is ready. Now let's test the flow. Click on test. Test the flow for the first time manually. Click on test it. Now it is telling us go and test the flow. Now go to the SharePoint site. Go to the list called students. Now what I will do, I'm going to delete this first template details, guys. Student details 101. Select the row which you want to delete. Go to this three ellipses. Click on what? Delete. When I click on delete, now see the item is deleted. Now once the item is deleted, then the flow will run. When the flow will run now, when an item is deleted, now go to the Power Automate. Now see, now the flow is telling what? Your flow is ran successfully. Now let me check. Let me go to my email. Whether I received the email or not. Yes, user 36. What's that email subject? An item is deleted in the SharePoint list. Now see, an item is deleted in the SharePoint list. What is that item I deleted? 101. So the item ID is 101 is the ID, it is deleted. So like this, whenever the item is deleted, if you want to send one notification to the users, so whoever it is deleted, you are able to send one email, guys. So if you want to mention here deleted by which person the deleted that item, also you can mention here. Deleted by means what? The person who is deleting that that item, that person details also you are able to mention in the email. So this is what, how to go and send one email to the user when an item is deleted in the SharePoint list. And next up, there is another one more flow you want to perform here. What? When an item is created or modified in the SharePoint list, I want to send one notification in the Teams. So Teams are in the email. So whenever the record is modified in the SharePoint list, then how to send one notification to the user? Now go to the Power Automate. Go to the Create tab. Now go and select what here? Now also the flow type is what? Automated cloud flow. Select the automated cloud flow. Now what's the flow name? Let me select the flow name as SharePoint. Let me keep it as update or modify, whatever it is, SharePoint update. Then I want to use the Power Automate to send one email or Teams also. In the SDS class, I discussed about how to send a notification to Teams, right? Here we'll discuss about how to send the email. Now just enter the flow name and then trigger. What's my trigger? Here, when an item is created or modified in the SharePoint. In the SharePoint, when an item is created or modified, select the trigger type. Once after selecting the trigger type, go and click on what? Create tab. When I click on this create tab, now it allows us to create one flow. Go back to the old designer. Now, what is my trigger? When the flow will start? When an item is modified or created. In what is the site? The site name is Power Automate. Select the site. The site name is Power Automate. Select the site name. In this site, what's the list? Students is my list. Now, once after entering the site address and list name, now what the action you want to take? I want to go and send one email. Send an email. Now select the send email version 2. Select this one. Now to whom you want to send? I want to send to the nkchalla@1995@gmail.com. Next, what is subject? An item is modified in the SharePoint list. So the same I want to keep here, guys. An item is modified in the SharePoint list. Same body also. Now, what you modified there? Let's say I'm modifying the course. Let's say I'm going to modify the course, not course. Let's say status is there, right? Let me select the status. By default, the status is what? Empty. Now I want to change the status here, guys. Let me select the status to bold. Keep it in the bold. Now just save the flow. Only 2 steps here also. When an item is deleted, updated, then go and send one email. Test the flow now. Manually test the flow for the first time. Now go to the SharePoint. Now there is no status for the student. Let me go and click on edit in grid view. Now let me change the status to in progress. Let me change the status to what? In progress. Now go and click on save. Exit in grid view. When I click on exit in grid view, now automatically the status is going to be changed to what? In progress. Now the record is modified. I'm modifying one record. Now go to the Power Automate. Now it need to run the flow. When the flow will run, whenever the record is modified. Now go to my email. Let me check I received the email or not. Yes, I received the email now. What's that email? Uh, an item is modified in the SharePoint list. An item is modified in the SharePoint list. So what I'm modifying here? Status. Status to what? In progress. So you can mention here before this. You can mention here status. Status equals to what's the status? It is modified in progress. So like this, you are able to send the email to the users or the owners of that site whenever the record is created, whenever the record is deleted, and also whenever the record is updated. Updated means modified. So in the yesterday's class I discussed about how to go and perform the automations in the Outlook as a data source. In today's session I'm discussing about by taking the SharePoint as a data source. And here in today's session we discussed about how to go and create a form in the Power Apps. Once if you enter the data in the form, how to submit that data to the data source. Once after submitting the data to the data sources, how to go and automate the flow. Here we discussed about creating a form in Power Apps now. Now in the tomorrow's class, that is in the tomorrow, I will discuss about something called Microsoft Forms. So in the tomorrow's class, I will go and discuss about one scenario, guys. What is that scenario I will discuss here is, let's say I'm going to conduct one workshop for SQL. So for SQL, I want to conduct one workshop. To conduct the workshop, I'm going to create one form in the Microsoft Forms. There is something called Microsoft Forms. In today, I create a form in the Power Apps. In tomorrow's class, I will go and create a form in the Microsoft Forms. So whenever the student is entering the details in the Microsoft Forms, that data I want to go store it in the SharePoint. Once the data goes stored in the SharePoint, I want to send one email to that students. Thanks for showing interest to attend the workshop. And there are some conditions I'm going to take in the tomorrow's class. So I will take one scenario here. So create a form in the Microsoft Forms named SQL Workshop Registration. Whenever the student submits the form, I want to add those student details automatically to the Teams group. And also I want to send one email in the Outlook. Two things I want to do. I want to go and add that student details into the Teams group, and also I want to send one email to that student that regarding thanks for registering for SQL Server workshop. So this is one scenario based. So I'll discuss this scenario in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow also we'll discuss about the automated cloud flows only, and then day after tomorrow onwards we'll start discussing about something called approvals. Fine. Let me stop here today. And there is two more we need to go and discuss here today's session. That is whenever the file is added in the Two more we need to go and discuss. That is, whenever a file is created in the SharePoint and whenever the file is deleted in the SharePoint. So that means whenever the list is created, whenever the list is deleted. So regarding these two actions, regarding these two scenarios, I will share a video with you. Simple, around 10 minutes of video. Just go and watch that video regarding these two scenarios. 10 minutes of video, just go and watch it. Here we discussed about in today's session list. List items. Whenever the item is created, item is deleted. But I want to go and work on the list itself. When a list is created, and also when a list is deleted, then what actions I want to take. So regarding this, I will go and regarding the list, I will create two types of flows. I will share the two flows with you. Just 10 to 15 minutes of video. Go and watch it. Fine. Let's go to the questions now.